Hello, and welcome to our first installment of Decoding Xenophobia and Racism in 2020 campaign ads. My name is Juana, and this is Zac, and we work at America's Voice, where one of our many projects has been tracking campaign ads that use racist or xenophobic dog whistles. In each installment of this series, we will take one dog whistle and break down the coded racist or xenophobic message embedded in the 2020 campaign ads.
So today we're going to look at a dog whistle that advances a false scarcity argument, fear-mongering around undocumented immigrants gaining access to healthcare. But first, Juana, can you help us define what we mean when we say something is a dog whistle?
Yes, in his book, Dog Whistle Politics, Ian Haney-Lopez defines the dog whistle as a strategic manipulation of racial ideas for the pursuit of power and material wealth, meaning dog whistles trade in racist ideas explicitly, avoiding naming race directly, but invoke negative stereotypes that the viewer reacts often without making a conscious connection of the racist message. This strategic code is used intentionally so that the politician can deny their use of racism, giving permission structure to the voter to support them, but who would reject blatant racism. The use of the dog whistle is not racism just for the sake of malice, but used as an attempt to divide voters along racial lines, to vote their fear of the non-white other over real solutions that would improve people's lives. But as Haney-Lopez reminds us, dog whistle racism is racism indeed. It is racism's most poisonous core because it legitimizes, energizes, and stimulates the entire destructive project of racial division.
Thanks, Juana. And now to get a sense for what a dog whistle looks like in practice, let's take a look at some clips from different ads that are using the dog whistle around healthcare and undocumented immigrants.
Raise your hand if your government plan would provide coverage for undocumented immigrants.
End handouts for law-breaking illegals.
Free health care for illegals.
Taxpayer-funded benefits should be reserved for American citizens.
Smith thinks you should pay for free health care for illegal immigrants, crowding our hospitals and using your taxes.
Stop stimulus checks and welfare for illegal aliens.
Funded health care for illegal immigrants.
Stop borrowing money from China to pay for illegals from Mexico.
Heather Carter voted with Democrats to protect free health care for illegal immigrants.
Defending your Medicare and protecting the safety net for truly needy Americans, people that need help, that are Americans, not for people that come into our country illegally.
So in case you missed it on screen, in order that they appeared, the ads were from the United Missouri PAC in the Missouri governor's race, Jerry Carl in Alabama's U.S. House District Number 1, Lindsey Graham in South Carolina's Senate race, Pete Sessions in Texas U.S. House District 17, the Congressional Leadership Fund and California U.S. House District 25 special election, Marjorie Greene in Georgia's U.S. House District 14, Martha McSally in the Arizona Senate race, Bob Hamilton in the Kansas Senate race, Arizona Free Enterprise Club PAC in Arizona State Senate District 15, and then ending with an ad from the Trump campaign. It really never fails to shock, especially when you see these ads back to back like that. So Juana, what's your first reaction when you see some of these ads?
What jumps out right away is their use of the dehumanizing term illegals and illegal immigrant. I mean, most media outlets have issued guidelines to the reporters to not use such language because it clearly dehumanizes our neighbors. That type of language is offensive and dangerous. If you stop seeing our neighbors as fellow humans, you can easily start to justify doing negative things to them, like denying them healthcare. But their rhetoric is intentional and provokes race, even without saying it, characterizes these imaged non-white bodies as criminal in of themselves. They are creating a specter of non-white villain who is taking something directly from you, the viewer.
Yeah, even in a less subtle way is the imagery of brown bodies, like subverting the barricade or being led away in handcuffs, and really driving this racist idea of the inherent criminality of non-white peoples.
Yeah, invoking an imagery of a non-white villain, the ad's dog whistle turns to blame them for the concern over the lack of affordable healthcare, looking to distract to address concerns about healthcare by creating a non-white boogeyman.
Yeah, I mean, this is like a ridiculous argument. For the first and foremost, like undocumented immigrants pay billions of dollars in taxes a year, and you really get nothing in return. Not to mention, tragically been reminded with COVID that DACA and TPS recipients play a key role in our healthcare system and are central to keeping our healthcare system running. But, these ads, the rhetoric suggests that they are like giving something or are for free that comes at our expense. Is a persistent, like willfully ignorant argument that there are undeserving takers in a zero-sum game where providing access to healthcare to millions of families who live and work and pay taxes in this country can only do so at a direct cost to native-born populations. And this like deliberately sets up a like racialized division over a critical resource, attempting to make competition where I think collaboration is really necessary.
Yes, and this isn't actually about healthcare at all. Fear-mongering about undocumented immigrants getting access to healthcare is not a plan to expand affordable coverage to the millions of families who need it. All that I can hear now in these ads is an attempt to pit people up against each other, hoping they blame the non-white other for the lack of affordable healthcare while glaringly omitting any real solution to expand access.
Yeah, like these like ads really set up like a false racist choice, combining derogatory rhetoric that invokes the non-white other with a fake policy argument that is both actively negative racial stereotypes and ideas, and that really help to kind of mask the racist intent behind it.
We will likely see more of these dog whistles in the coming months, and maybe more so in the campaigns, as they look to exploit the fears around the pandemic, but lack the plans to expand healthcare. But all I will see if I come across another one of these ads is a gasping hole where a real policy idea should be that is desperately being tried to be filled by racial division.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we should keep in mind that these dog whistles are being amplified by significant amounts of money as a strategy to win political power. But voters, I think especially in the elections where we saw these ads today, can and really should reject the poison pill of xenophobia and racism and demand real solutions for expanding access to healthcare.
Well, that'll do it for today. But if you want to help decode the racism in the dog whistle we saw today and undermine its message, share this video with a family member, friend, or coworker, and like and subscribe to our channel to see our next Decoding Dog Whistle video.